Hi, folks, and welcome to the last episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast of 2020. Wow. What a year. I'm exhausted.
That is the mood of, yeah. It's over. We can just, after this, we can just go to sleep for 2 to 3 weeks and it's going to be a completely different year. It's going to be fine.
No, we have to do Game of the Year.
Oh, no.
We have things we have to do.
This is the last podcast before Game of the Year, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm John. I'm the host of the podcast. I'm in charge of VideoGameChooChoo.com. And with me this week is Solon.
Hi.
Solon, do you have any plans for the holidays?
So, the only plan that I have for the holidays is to, since we're all kind of cloistered up, it's going to be like the best time to go through my entire backlog of like 2020 games. The things that I still want to try to fit in before the end of the year and all of our Game of the Year deliberations. And I've crossed off a bunch that I'm like, yeah, I don't think I really have any interest in what those ended up being. Like, I'm not super interested in Bug Snacks. I'm not going to put any more time into, things like Among Us or anything. There's a couple like The Pathless that I've been looking at. That's a game that it's got that Austin Wintry soundtrack. I want to dive right into that and see how that looks. So my whole winter break, I'm planning just 2 weeks of some sweet games. Also a bunch of stuff that like got announced in the last week or so. And we'll talk about those in a bit, but there's been a couple of things that have just showed up recently that I was like, whoa, that's out now? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, honestly. I'm feeling pretty normal about all this. I'm kind of looking at what I've got on my plate, and I mostly just have to wrap up a few games. I don't know, there's some stuff that I wish that I got around to more. But honestly, some of it I just kind of bounced off of, and I kind of hate that I did.
A lot of games that just, because of how the year shaped up and just how my, momentum went through games, where it was just like, all right, I'm just going to put this away. I'm done with this. I can't get to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And once I lose momentum on a game, it's just like, yep, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to move on to something else, do another activity or something.
Yeah, I feel really bad about how, hard I bounced off of Moon.
Yeah, you were super into that right when it came out, and
I was really excited about it, and then I started playing it, and I was just like, I need to walk through for this, and I'm tired, and I don't want to think right now, and I don't know, I bounced off of it.
That's actually the exact feeling that I've had this week. I started playing the Silver Case, that old Pseudo 51 game. And I started it up, and I'm really enjoying these characters, and then I'm also at the same time like, oh, I'm really not in a mood to read right now, and I'm really not in a mood to look at cipher puzzles and negotiate the game spaces in this really rudimentary Killer 7-esque movement system that's menu-based. It's got some little inconsistencies in it that I'm just like, oh, this is going to be a whole thing. I know that the next time I pick it up, it's going to be way easier to, figure out what, with my brain having to navigate entire 3D spaces only using menus. I'm going to get it, but the first time I played it, I was like, oh, this is actually alienating because this is very old. I don't know if Moon was like that too, being another game that was kind of old like that.
I think that's part of it, it just felt like I was playing Undertale, but not as, recent.
Older Tale?
Yeah, Older Tale. But you know, it's like it's an important game, and I'm glad that they preserved it, and I'm glad that people care a lot about it, and it came out over here, and people liked it. But I'm tired, and I'm depressed, and I don't want to think about this shit right now. I just want to play Smash Bros. And Pokemon, and live in my little hole all year.
Yeah. No, I'm just settling into this Nintendo hole, which I know has been fraught for, 2 weeks prior, and then this week they just dropped a ton of news, and I'm just like, God, it's Christmas. I don't want to think about drama. I just want to nest in a Nintendo hole for just for a week, just for 2 weeks, and then we can be all mad at Nintendo again after that. And
yeah, you can cancel me if you want, but bro, they put Sephiroth in Smash Bros.
Yo, they put Sephiroth in Smash Bros. Oh.
You know what?
How's it feel?
Well, I guess I should go over how all that transpired, because it was extremely hilarious. So
yeah, God, what happened with all of that?
They had their Smash Bros. Direct thing on Thursday, on the 17th, and honestly, all of us were sitting there like, okay, they're just gonna drop them. It's just gonna be a day of thing. They've done it before. Whatever. They showed him off. And he's pretty interesting. He's more straightforward than you'd expect, but he's very, very strong. He's one of those, like, moves kind of slow, but is really light characters, kind of like Mewtwo.
I was going to say, there's a lot of similarities to your favorite person, Mewtwo.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I kind of bounced off of Sephiroth. Like, I'm not, like, in love with him like I am with Mewtwo, of course. Mewtwo's gameplay, I should say. I think he's got some neat tricks. He's got a very large hitbox because of how long his sword is. He's got a lot of really neat special attacks. His regular special uses different kinds of flares, and like Giga Flare is almost a one-hit kill. Like, you have to sit there and charge it all the way up to use it, and you have to be like right in front of him. His side B is basically like Virgil's swords, where like you summon the things that float around them and they swarm in to attack all at once.
Oh yeah.
He's also got kind of sort of a counter, but it's not only a counter, because he like puts up a shield, and then if it blocks it, it does more damage, but if it doesn't block, it still does an attack afterwards. And his final smash is, of course, the supernova. But instead of just doing like a big explosion that does a bunch of damage, it also like inflicts status effects, like random status effects, which is pretty cool. So it's not just like a big attack. It's like, okay, it might make your opponent fly far, or it might give them a flower on their head, or they'll reverse their controls, or, a bunch of other stuff.
That's been the final smash for almost every character in that character pack, too.
Yeah, it's not just like a standard, oh, hey, we're just gonna blow you up or whatever. It's different. So I'm really glad that Sephiroth is a different kind of character. They did something unique with him. And he also has a thing where if he gets damaged enough, his one wing will pop out and he'll become a little stronger and a little faster for a short amount of time. Just kind of like a come from behind underdog sort of thing with the wing.
Yeah, it's an equalizer that only pops up when you're, behind or, in desperate need, which is very different from like Joker, who their big special thing is just on a timer. It's just on, it just comes and goes on a timer. It doesn't really matter what's happening in the match. So there's something that I really like about that mechanic.
Right, and it comes with some new songs, which is cool. It's a new stage, which is like the end of Final Fantasy VII, like the last bit of it, where the meteor comes down. That was pretty cool. And then they also added some costumes, some Mii costumes, which they added Barrett, Tifa, and Aerith, which were all really good. And then they brought back the Chocobo, and of course they brought back the Geno outfit. And the internet cried because Geno, the dream of Geno, is once again dead.
Yeah. What's worse, that Travis Touchdown's on the level of Geno, or that Geno's on the level of Travis Touchdown?
Well, I'll think of it like I feel like they would think of it, where I bet Gino feels like shit that he's on the same level as Travis Touchdown, but Travis Touchdown is honored to be on the same level as Gino. That is how I'm thinking about it.
Aw, Travis Touchdown, you think he'd wear the Gino hat?
Travis Touchdown flipped the fuck out about Gino. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be so into it.
Yeah!
Yeah, he stole a copy of Super Mario RPG from Blockbuster like 20 years ago. Absolutely. That is something that motherfucker has done. He has a copy of that game.
So they're both me outfits now.
Yes. But it's super neat that they added more Final Fantasy songs. That was really cool. Sakurai did basically say, like, oh, yeah, the reason why it took us forever is because the rights to Final Fantasy music is all over the place. So we can't just have everything that we want. It's a mess. But they did have both versions of One Wing Angel. They have the original and the Advent Children version. And they got Genova in there. And they have a remix of Aerith's theme that was done by Okabe, the Nier composer.
That is the really most smash-ass song that I have ever heard.
It's super good.
I don't think I'm that much of a fan of it, actually.
I like it a lot, but, you know.
I think it's sort of really weird. Oh, totally. No. You're totally allowed to just enjoy this dance version of the Aerith's theme. I just, every time I hear it, I just think it's the funniest music I've ever heard.
It is a little funny.
But it's going to play on a Smash, stage. That's fun. It is totally for fun. It's not something that I'm going to like go out of my way to listen to, like some of the other those Smash remixes that are really, really great. Right. But that one, I'm just like, oh, yeah, you really do have a Smash sound now, don't you? And I've found it. It sounds exactly like this.
And then to cap it all off, which was maybe the funniest thing that they could have possibly done.
Yeah, they tried to literally, jump out of the Nintendo Direct and say, hey, John, I know you're depressed right now. And I know you're going through some stuff. It's been a hard quarter of school, and you need a break. Hey, we've got this thing for you.
We've got the funniest possible thing that could happen. So, the official release date of Sephiroth is the 22nd.
Oh, that's not for a couple days.
Right, but right now, I think you will be able to hear this before the day that Sephiroth normally releases. If you pre-order the Sephiroth DLC, or if you like bought the fighter pass or whatever, you will unlock the Sephiroth challenge. Which all it is you fight Sephiroth in a stamina battle, and if you win, you get Sephiroth early.
Oh wait, it's a stamina battle.
Yeah,
it's not even like a Smash battle where you have to like blow him off the stage. It's just, hey, if you can hit him for 200 damage, he dies, he crumples and cries, and then is like, okay, you can play as me now. Yeah,
so there's very easy, normal, and very hard, and if you can beat him on any difficulty and you'll unlock him, so it's not that much of a problem. Sakurai said on the Direct that he was thinking about making it so you only had one chance to beat him on very hard, and if you lost, then you just don't get him until the day. Which he was like, that was a funny idea, but we didn't want to make people angry, so we just, let them do it. So if you have the DLC, you can go out right now, and you could just beat him on easy, and that'll be your Sephiroth challenge. But there's people out there that have been, like, speedrunning the very hard Sephiroth challenge. There's people who have gotten it down to, like, a few seconds, because, you could still, like, spike him off the stage. So you just, lure him off the stage and spike him, yeah. I think the fastest that I saw somebody get it was someone just playing as hero, and they just threw out the thwack and just immediately killed him in 1 second.
Good lord. Can you play the Sephiroth challenge as Sephiroth?
No, you cannot, unfortunately.
Real? Okay.
Yeah.
That's also great.
It's only running from then until Sephiroth's official release.
So the Sephiroth challenge is over.
Yeah, then it's just done. You can't do the Sephiroth challenge anymore. Which, there's the whole argument for preservation and all that, but it's a stamina battle against Sephiroth. You can very easily recreate the Sephiroth challenge if you so wish by just bumping his handicap up a little bit, making him a little stronger, and then just fighting him.
And then you can also just play a Sephiroth then in your own pre-made Sephiroth challenge.
You could do the Sephiroth challenge against Sephiroth if you want. It's whatever you want to do. So, it's true. Sephiroth is in Smash. You could take the Sephiroth challenge. I did it. I beat Sephiroth on very hard as Mewtwo. It took me a minute and a half, but I did it. It was tough. Nice. It was really tough. I'm no pro Smasher, but being able to say I cleared the Sephiroth challenge. That's something, That's something to say.
Like riding the roller coaster. I cleared the the Monster Dipper challenge.
I cleared the Sephiroth challenge, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt, and also Sephiroth a few days early.
That's really fun, though.
It is. It's cute.
If you were a challenge in Smash, what kind of challenge would you be?
I'd be the try to do Mewtwo Shadow Claw 3 times in a row challenge, because that's all I want to do.
You just are an extra fast Mewtwo that only does the forward air, just does Shadow Claw a bunch of times at you.
I guess so.
I like it.
Yeah. How about you?
I think I would be one of those Jigglypuff teams like they had in Melee, where you'd have a team fight. Mm-hmm. And they would constantly just be doing sing and sleep specials.
Oh, the annoying sing and rest combo, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just bully you, and that'd be the Solon challenge. Try to get past my wall of little orbs.
Well, there's 3 more slots. There are 3 more characters for them to reveal. I'll be honest, I have no idea now, because I feel like Sephiroth just threw it completely for a loop, I think the combination of Min Min and Sephiroth just completely blew everything out, because Min Min was a spirit, and, for the longest time I was thinking, okay, they're not going to put spirits in, because, the spirit battles are supposed to be equivalent to you fighting them, quote-unquote, but they put a spirit in. And then I thought that they weren't going to do, multiple characters from a third-party property, I didn't think that they would put, another Metal Gear character in, or another Well, okay, they put Ken in, but, I didn't think they were going to put, I don't know, Chun-Li, or Bison, or something like that, I didn't think they were going to put someone who was, a unique character in. But then Sephiroth broke that. So really, it is completely open, hell, we don't even know if Mii fighters are completely taking it out of the equation, who fucking knows at this point, at the end of it, Sakurai might just be like, haha, gotcha, Gino's in, who fucking knows?
It feels like it could be anyone. They could put Toad in.
Yeah, they could put Toad in.
Gotta celebrate the Super Nintendo World opening with, hey, here's a little Toad for you.
Here's Chef Toad.
Chef Toad! They put the Chef Toad in!
Solon, do you want to talk about Super Nintendo World?
Hey, I do, because, Thursday, that happened. Mm-hmm. I think, was it Wednesday or something? They had the Indies Direct.
Yeah, they had the Indie Direct, yeah.
We could talk about that in a bit, but they also had on Friday the Super Nintendo World Direct. Just a little 15-minute walkthrough where Mr. Miyamoto took us through the actual Super Nintendo World at Universal Tokyo. Is it Universal Tokyo or Universal Japan?
I don't know if it's... I think it's just Universal Japan. I don't know if it's in Tokyo.
Where it is. But, in Japan, they've got Universal Studios theme park, and a whole section of it is Super Nintendo World, which is a nice little theme park, a section of the theme park that has one major attraction and a whole bunch of walkthroughs that act and feel like the Super Mario franchise. And it's called Super Nintendo World, but it is literally the Super Mario World. There's not going to be like a bunch of other Nintendo properties in there. It is very focused.
And that is what bums me out a little bit, that they're calling it Super Nintendo World, but, you know, there's not even like a little Zelda thing. You know, like I think Yoshi's there, but Yoshi is, you know, basically a Mario character, and then if they put like a Donkey Kong thing in there, that's also kind of Mario, you know, like Donkey Kong and Yoshi show up in Mario Kart all the time. They're not separate.
Yeah, they're in the inner circle of, you know, Miyamoto's mind. Anything else, like Zelda or Metroid, those aren't in Miyamoto's mind. Those are not his children. He does at one point literally call Mario and Luigi his kids. He's like, oh, sorry, Dad's got to go back to work now. Bye, Mario. Bye, Luigi.
It's very funny, but yeah, I do wish that they would expand upon it a little bit, but I don't know if it's because Miyamoto has just been, I don't know, so like obsessed with getting his legacy out there, and I feel like Mario is like the last thing that is maybe fully his, because, you know, like you could say like Aonuma has really taken over Zelda, and, you know, like all the other franchises that have been kind of passed out to other people, but he's still very much in charge of Mario, even though he's kind of starting to pass it along a little bit. He still has a lot of say in Mario, so I don't know.
I'm the complete opposite on that, because I really enjoy how theme parks work, and I think that what Miyamoto's putting together here is actually very concise, and they're not trying to overextend what is essentially a very small part of a much bigger theme park.
Sure.
It is just going to be very similar to what I've seen with like the Harry Potter world that they put into Universal theme parks, where it's one major attraction, the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge or whatever, Bowser's Castle Mario Kart ride, which looks dope. They didn't show a dang single thing of it. All I saw was a helmet that you wear that has like kind of a Google Glass interface. It's just got a visor over the front that I think interacts with this ride in some way.
It sounds like it's an AR ride.
Yeah.
They had some journalists ride it, I think, like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And they explained it was just sort of like an AR little ride where you're driving along. I think you like ride along with Mario and friends, and you have to like stop Bowser from winning the race, basically.
And that makes for some different rides. There's a little bit of a customizable, you know, a playful aspect to the ride, which I think is the important part of this entire space. And so they just like filled the entire section of the park with AR-based interfaces that work with, you know, QR codes and smartphones and stuff, which is a normal thing that the Harry Potter extensions of Universal has been doing anyways. And so they're just kind of taking that to the next level, where it's a more playful visual interface, as opposed to the more ritualized version that Harry Potter had, where it was like, all right, you flick a wand in this direction and it does this thing. This is like, hey, you can go hit these coins, collect coins, and it, I don't know, ostensibly does something to an app that affects, you know, this or that. And so just a whole bunch of different stuff like that you can play with that was very exciting and interesting. And most importantly, it looks and feels like Mario World. Yeah. I think the thing that freaked me out was when Miyamoto starts the whole tour, he goes through a warp pipe and enters into Princess Peach's castle, and you're inside the castle, and there's just a painted picture of like the Bomb Mario 64 painting on the side. And I'm like, look, I know I'm gonna just try and run smack dab head first into that painting. I don't know what some other kid is also gonna do. That painting's gonna last like a week right there before they have to be like, hey, people should stop running head first into this painting like hooligans.
Yeah, you are going to get injured. Please do not be injured.
I'm gonna go up to one of those blocks, the question mark blocks, and I'm gonna smash my head into it. You think I'm gonna stop? No.
I did notice that all of those blocks were pretty much made to be like at like shoulder level for your, I guess, average adult height.
And for kids, yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that for kids as well. So I think they explicitly did that so people wouldn't run up and bash their head against it.
I'm just like, I've got my like teacher kind of face on. I'm like scanning for where kids are going to be hooligans. And there's this point when they walk into the restaurant, Toad's cutesy little restaurant. And there's like present boxes that are like a little different from the question mark boxes, but they look like they interact the same way. And they're higher up. They're like, you know, maybe a good 6-7 feet, because they're supposed to be ceiling decorations. And the QR code that's attached to them are on the wall. And I'm looking at this like, oh, I'm just going to walk into this place and, oh, I can't reach that with my wrist. Hey, someone give me a boost. I'm going to smash my QR code on my super cool Mario Watch wrist. I'm going to smash it right into that thing way up there. And you're not going to stop me. I'm imagining the dad that throws their kid like 2 feet in the air and tries to attack this box because they don't see the QR, you know, code thing. They don't see the pad to interact with on the side. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. And that's how I got kicked out of Japan. Miyamoto came and saw and said, Solon, you can't throw other kids that are holding all of your 4 or 5 different watches because you're multi-boxing the Super Nintendo world. You're trying to speedrun it. and then I got kicked out.
There, what I think, because there were like bob-ombs in some of those areas while they were walking around, I think if you stand too close to a bob-omb when it blows up, you should lose a life. And if you lose all 3 of your lives, they should just kick you out of the place.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Luigi has to come out like Oompa Loompa style and be like,
yeah,
all right, John.
Just throw a bag over your head and toss you out. You're not allowed to see any more of this. Come back tomorrow.
You have to go back to Transformers Land now and play with the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, sad bastard. But seriously, I think it is pretty neat. It does seem like the Orlando one might be bigger.
Yeah.
So maybe they might be adding more, because I think I did see like they're gonna have the Bowser Castle with the Mario Karts, but I think I saw that they were gonna have some sort of Donkey Kong ride too, and maybe some other like Yoshi thing there. But again, you know, like I would love for them to have more stuff other than that. But you know, there's always the chance that they'll expand more. Like I don't know. The thing is I would not be surprised if at some point Universal doesn't just go like, you know what, fuck it. We're just gonna have like the Harry Potter section, the Minions section, and then Nintendo can have everything else, because like, what else do people go to Universal for? Like, they just want to go to Harry Potter. There's like nothing else there. So, like, if Nintendo just went, okay, hey, we'll build like a Zelda castle here, and that could be like your castle to rival Disney, Universal will be like, yeah, okay. And then, you know, they could just have like fucking Metroid shooter, like spaceship shit. They could have more like race car stuff. They could have like an F-Zero thing. You know,
no doubt.
Maybe if eventually they'll have Pokemon, they could have Star Fox stuff. You know, like there's so many things they could do. And, you know, it'd be kind of foolish for them to not expand in the future. But I think at least for a start, if they want to just get in the groundwork, start it off. They start off with Mario, especially when they're going to have that movie in like 2 or 3 years. That's how you do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I am so glad that they kept scope as like concise and simple as possible. That they didn't try to like overdo. There's nothing that I saw at Super Nintendo World that was like, oh wow, that's so novel and neat. No, they just wanted to make a theme park attraction and make it as like high fidelity and real to the Nintendo idea and concept as possible. And I super respect that. And also because they're so planned out on being like, all right, we're going to California, we're going to Florida. They're going to inherently expand on a lot of these ideas. And then they're going to take those ideas back to Japan, because those are, that's usually how these theme parks work, is that they expand in those spaces, and that first opening launch of a theme park section is always, kind of feels maybe a little anemic, a little like less than you're expecting, but then that's because over the next year or two, it starts to expand. And that's what we saw with Disneyland, with Galaxy's Edge, when all the Star Wars stuff was happening. People were like, whoa, this is it. And then it's like, 2 years later, it's like, oh, this is it. Okay, this feels fleshed out. This feels very big and over the top in what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's something. It's neat.
If you could have one theme park ride on a Nintendo one, what's the one like IP or one like main first party Nintendo thing that you would want a roller coaster ride or some kind of theme park attraction on?
Okay, so I'm gonna have my answer that you might want to disqualify, and then my normal answer. So the answer that might be disqualified is I'd want a Smash Bros. One. But specifically, I would want like one of those, how they have like that Spider-Man ride where you're like flying around and shit, or like the Simpsons ride.
Oh,
I basically want that. I want that, but for Subspace Emissary.
A Subspace Emissary dark ride sounds so perfect. That's genius.
That's what I want.
Absolutely.
If I can't do that, then I just want some dumbass Pokemon thing that I can get up to. I want to just be able to go in and act like a 5-year-old and just lose it. I don't care what kind of thing it is. I just want to go to a Pokemon theme park, I want to have some sort of experience with Pokemon in my adult life, I want to be able to lose it. Ugh.
All right, here's my big brain idea. I think this is even perfect for you, John.
Right, okay.
Here's the design. This is, if I could design any kind of ride, it would be like this, and it's very similar to at Disneyland, they have the Astro Blasters ride.
Yes.
And they have the Midway Arcade Toy Story ride. Midway Mania. I have the Disneyland correspondence actually in that room right now. Thank you, Jacob. He's very excited about this too. Midway Mania. So these are both interactive games-based things that are arcade styled. But none of them have a big strategy component to them. So, what kind of thing would work in that situation? Pikmin.
Okay.
Where you're going on a track, but you have to organize your Pikmin in strategic ways as you're going down the track, and just grouping them and moving them between different tasks as you're going down the track with, maybe with a partner that's next to you, perhaps. So you've got your Olimar and your Alf in a little car, and they're organizing their Pikmin with little Pikmin guns, where you can sling them out with a button or rally them to points with another button. And by the end of the ride, you've, built a rocket ship and you've gotten out of there.
That sounds fun. I like that. That's what I'm saying. They gotta expand this stuff. Universal, kiss my ass.
And just hire my ass.
Hire my ass.
Kiss it and hire it.
Yeah. Give Nintendo your theme park fully. I don't care. The minions can go fuck themselves. Harry Potter can eat shit.
I know you're starting this Animaniacs thing. Get them out of here. I don't want those tunes running around.
I don't think that's Universal.
Is it
that's
not?
WB. That's WB. They live in the WB water tower. The WB. Warner Brothers.
I don't know who owns that anymore.
Warner Brothers owns.
Because they do all the Jurassic Park jokes all the time, and I figured those were the same.
Does Universal have a do they have a Jurassic Park thing there at Universal?
Yeah.
Is that Universal?
Yeah. Huh. But maybe that's another joint thing that I just am not aware of.
Maybe. I don't know. Is that Universal? Companies fucking suck. Companies No, it's okay. Listen. Companies suck on a capitalism section where, these things need to be broken up, but also these motherfuckers need to get broken up just so I don't have to think about all the millions. I don't know who owns what. Make it so they own themselves. Stop it. Stop the monopoly so I can be normal in my brain. Okay?
This is where the way too real Steven Spielberg like cartoon comes in and says, "You're telling me, bub." And then everyone's supposed to like laugh and get that joke. He's wearing like a hat that says Steven Spielberg on it, so you know it's him.
Yeah. God, fucking... What kid understood what the hell was going on in Animaniacs? That was not a children's cartoon.
No.
I don't even think that wasn't an adult's cartoon. That was a Steven Spielberg cartoon. That was a wow, I sure do know what I'm talking about. Oh man, I'm making some great political commentary by making like Hillary Clinton yell at Bill Clinton. Because
Bill Clinton plays the funny sax.
Yeah, that's really funny. And then like I don't know, I didn't watch any of the new fucking season. I did see that they made Trump like a Cyclops for like one section or something, and it didn't even make any sense.
Hey, yeah, I watched that entire season in one night. That was Thanksgiving. I spent Thanksgiving just binge watching the entirety of Animaniacs.
I mean, was it good? Did you like it?
There were parts of it that I genuinely thought were extremely funny, and
okay.
A couple parts that actually had a little bit of biting cynicism of the modern era that I was hoping for.
Sure, okay.
And then there was the Trump thing that was kind of dumb, and there was a lot of like liberalism kinds of bits that I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
There was one bit where they just lampooned Tucker Carlson, and that was actually a punching down that like really worked. The Animaniacs were, you know, goofing and gooning on a appropriate target of ridicule that makes sense.
Okay.
So lots of hits, lots of misses, and you know, just hoping, very excited for another season of that.
Yeah, I guess, you know, you kind of have to roll with what it is, you know, like...
Oh, it's a Buck Wild animation! What I wasn't expecting was, sorry, I know this is not video games, but
no, that's fine.
Watching a Hulu broadcast of a show that was just a revived show of an era before I kind of thought it would be this big cash-in thing, but no! They used it as a platform to get a lot of different animators and animation styles on board. And so the different sketches that you'd normally have in an Animaniacs broadcast, that kind of show, sketch comedy-esque show, they filled in a lot of spaces with different styles of animation to kind of help get you into different mind spaces for how different these kinds of comedy bits were going to be. Because some of the comedy bits are like, you're going to weekend update, Saturday Night Live, think about the politics of the today. And other times be like, hey, we're going to watch a kid, you know, a kid do little child baby stuff for 5 minutes. And those are very different moods to be in. So they have a very different animation style for that. And it was really cool. There was no part of, which this is weird for Animaniacs, there was no part during which I was watching Animaniacs where I was like, this animation style is not fun or easy to watch. Which, Animaniacs from the 90s, a little rough.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's aged.
Old show. Yeah. Some of the visual gags and things just don't come off because the animation was, whoo. But the main thing that does endure is the orchestration. They do fully orchestrate every episode, and that is unreal.
It's very good.
So, yeah. No, I actually recommend watching it. I think it was like the second episode has that Trump bit, and then they just don't do that anymore for the rest of the show. There's a couple other parts that are like kind of that cringy style, but then there's other like very weird parts. Like they have Pinky and the Brain make a Lola Bunny-esque furry first woman presidential candidate who's like very much in charge. And
yeah, like I could definitely tell that they were trying, you know, they were trying to do something, and you know, like it's not going to knock it all out of the park. Yeah, they're not going to knock it out of the park completely, especially because like they're just coming back. They might not want to go full ammo, and also like I saw a clip where they were straight up just like because they were writing this like a year or two ago, so they were just straight up like, we don't know exactly when this is going to air. We don't even know who the president is, like, exactly. We don't know if Trump's going to win or not, so we don't know if like lampooning him is really going to mean anything. And, like, yeah, he lost, but, you know, still it came out while he was still in office, and it's just, like, this weird thing where it's still just, like, you know, they still can't really go full hog because it just feels so weird, and they don't really know what to make fun of, because, also, this is supposed to be for kids, and they probably can't go in on the kind of shit, you know? Like, it's such a weird fucking thing. It's such a weird thing. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes, I guess, I would say.
There's some creative compromises that happen, but it all really works out in the end, because, yeah, and the funny thing is they put all of those insecurities that they had up front, all the way up to, like, hey, we don't know if, you know, our old characters that we really loved are really gonna work for this new season. Because we want kids to watch this, but we don't want to alienate kids, and we also don't want to alienate their parents being like, oh, I actually used to like that. That's weird. So, like, Hello Nurse, Hello Nurse becomes, and this is just a cute little gag they throw in like the very last episode of the season. They're just like, oh, what's his name? Dr. Butts and Wieners. I don't
Scratch
remember
and
his
Sniff.
name. Dr. Scratch and Sniff.
Yeah.
Has a throwaway joke where he just is getting tormented by the Animaniacs and he just says, oh, I should have went with Hello Nurse to Doctors Without Borders.
That's pretty good.
And it's like, hell yeah, you get him, Hello Nurse. She's out there saving the world.
Yeah, it seems like they like I haven't watched all of it or something. I've just seen like a couple of clips posted on Twitter, but like it seems like they're like really trying to like update and figure out what they're trying to do with this season, because they got like renewed for like 2 or 3 seasons, so they're probably gonna like actually go for it in future seasons. You know, this seems like them just being like, well, we're back, we gotta figure out what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, and every part of that show, you can see it. It's like a systematic tear down of like how you debut a full season of a show, because it is like scientific, strategic strike on setting up to be renewed for 2 more seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They literally put in enough hooks and enough like this and that's that are like, hey, if you don't renew us for 2 more seasons, people will get mad.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I have no idea if they're owned by Universal Studios. I just kind of thought that it was, I don't know. My brain just went there. I was just thinking about The Simpsons in Universal Studios and how that's also now up. And I figured that the Animaniacs would take their place next, but that would be weird, I guess. We got Minions and the WB kids all next to Super Mario and Super Luigi. And Toad's Kitchen. And Harry Potter. They're all going to be there. Look, it literally sounds like a bad Animaniacs sketch.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get stomach virus from Toad's cooking.
Yeah, you gonna eat that mushroom popcorn? They've got popcorn flavored like mushroom.
I don't think it was. It was. I think they said it was like caramel peach,
And
which
mushroom.
Did they say mushroom?
That was the second flavor on the
That
list.
sounds gross. Ugh.
You know, that doesn't sound gross.
I'm not. No, I don't even think caramel peach sounds very good.
No,
that sounds like a really weird flavor combo. I won't go for that.
So they've got this sweet flavor, and they've got this savory flavor popcorn, and I'm a sucker for a savory popcorn. What would you put on popcorn then? What would be your Super Mario flavor?
Salt and butter.
Superstar salt and butter.
There you go.
John's got them lining up for that special novelty Superstar salt and butter popcorn.
I mean, I like caramel. Caramel popcorn's pretty good. I just don't know about peach at the same time.
Yoshi green tax evasion popcorn.
All right, yeah, sure. Just put some green sprinkles on there. Ugh.
Yeah, it's popcorn, but it's green now.
I'd be down for like a spicy popcorn with like, I don't know, like some chili powder on it. That could be like a Bowser flavor or something like that. Yeah,
now you're talking.
What? Yeah, spicy chili powder popcorn. Yeah,
a little cayenne, a little. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Smoky.
Got some like garlicky popcorn for Wario. There was zero Wario representation in that entire thing. I was legit mad about that.
There to be Wario representation.
Why the fuck not?
Yoshi barely gets in there.
Why the fuck not? They didn't even have a Wario wristband. I wanted a they were like, oh, you get to pick your wristband when you come in. You know, you get to take it home because you can use it as like an amiibo when you get home on your Switch. Which you know, that's cool. But I want a fucking Wario one out of all those. You know, like I'll probably get
the such an oversight. You know, who wouldn't want to grab a yellow wristband?
Yeah, like Wario or Waluigi. Like, those are the only two that they... and, you know, like, Miyamoto hates fucking Waluigi, so they probably won't do Waluigi. But, like, Wario's a main fucking character. He's one of the main villains, you know? He's in a bunch of games. And
I don't think they would want to overshadow Bowser, though. He's kind of the big bad there.
I guess, but...
Gotta keep it focused.
Okay, Wario's barely even a villain anymore. He's an anti-hero. So, like, he wouldn't even overshadow Bowser, you know? He's just, like, there to challenge Mario. He's a rival, you know? Okay. I don't know. All right,
open that up for when we do the Mario tennis attraction.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'll probably just get the Luigi one, so that way I can make Mama Luigi jokes the whole time I'm there, but... like, I'm gonna be a little upset about it because I want Wario because I want to think about, you know, maybe they're not doing it because they don't want people asking, hey, when's the next WarioWare game the whole time they're there, or when's the next Wario Land game, Nintendo?
Ooh,
huh? Yeah, come on, chop chop.
John, I'm taking you to Japan.
I would love to go to Japan.
We're gonna go. We're gonna tear up the whole island, the entire nation country of Japan.
I gotta go there. I gotta get all kinds of video game soundtrack CDs. I gotta go to all the places where they took references from for Kyuso Giga. I gotta go fucking on the raid and buy a bunch of games, cheap ass games.
I gotta go to that Sega arcade because they tried to tear it down during COVID, and I'm not having that. I gotta go see it before they eventually take the axe to it.
Well, they're not taking an axe to it because they sold it, and it's still gonna have the Sega logo on it and everything. So I'm not too worried about that. But
it's so precipitous. It's like it's on the edge, and I can't make any excuses.
We gotta go to we gotta go to all the places that inspired Kamurocho and all that. We gotta
we gotta get into a fist fight in Kamurocho.
Gotta get in a fist fight.
I've gotta hit someone with a big traffic cone.
We are being just pure gaijin bullshit right now.
I want to enable you to do that, John. This is your Christmas special, your Christmas gift.
We'll see.
We're going to Japan, and we're gonna have a damn good time.
We'll see.
Speaking of Christmas gifts, you got me a Christmas gift. You gave me a Christmas gift for Christmas.
Yes. I got you two things because one thing was very cheap, but it was the first thing that showed up. You got the other one, right?
I did. I actually have them both. The first gift I got was you gave me Anubis II for the Nintendo Wii, which is one of the worst games ever made for the Nintendo Wii, and is famously part of a quadrilogy, as I'm calling it. A quadrilogy of Data Design interactive games that are all extremely identical, starting with Ninja Bread Man and Rock and Roll Adventure, Anubis 2, and Mischief Makers Trixie in Toyland. Yes, off the top, I know these. This is why John and I are friends.
I had to make sure that you got that covered. You know, you got to do your due diligence during your terrible weekends out there. You know.
Nope, you've got me covered. Now I can finally start putting together the quadrilogy speed run where we beat those all. So I got Ninja Bread Man down to about an hour. I can beat that front to back in about 40 minutes or so. And so
good news is all of those games are pretty much identical. So you also have
exactly the same.
Yeah, you also have Anubis 2 down to about 40 minutes, and
yep. And so thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely, anytime.
I'm gonna have so much patience playing that game.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, and especially because I've got my new hat on. You gave me a train conductor hat in bright pink, and it looks delightful.
I figured it would fit you both for you and for what you do for the site. So yes, thank you.
Oh, it's
for
so
enjoying
good.
it.
I'm going to be streaming on with it tonight, and I got to make sure that I just have it nearby anytime I edit Chooch stuff. For Game of the Year, it's like, all right, choo-choo, motherfuckers, put the hat on, and it squeezes on tight, and it's like, let's go. I've got more Yu-Gi-Oh! Clips to cut.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't gotten any new cards yet, but,
Christmas, though.
Maybe. So, I've been playing some games. I got that Ring Fit. I talked about it a little bit, I think, but I've been playing more of it.
Oh,
that game is really good.
Okay, you're on stream right now with the guru of Ring Fit, someone who knows their way around the gains. What do you think about Ring Fit?
I like it.
What do you think about Drago, my big dragon boyfriend?
He's sweaty. Everyone in this game is
sweaty. He's very sweaty. There's so many wet people in that game.
They make the sweat fucking drip off of you in that game. And you, like, both in-game and in real life, though, because I have, like, I'll be honest, I was a little worried at first because I did my first day and it kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Second and third day were, I felt like I worked out, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm like dying like it was the first day. And I was a little worried there. I was like, okay, is this going to be like, am I going to get too into a routine and it's not really going to like work me out that much? And then the fourth day it kicked my ass again. So I was like, okay, I think we're good.
Yep. No, they know. The first couple of days are really well curated in that way to get you a kind of a full body workout in a lot of areas. And then after about the first week or so, you get a lot of RPG based tools, attacks with varying archetypes that let you kind of design how you want to work out and what things that you like doing. You never have to be limited to like, this exercise that I don't like has the biggest attack power, so I guess I have to do the exercise I hate now for a week until I unlock something better. No, you actually have a lot of leeway to move around and do whatever you want. And also, as you keep like sweating and getting better at doing the workouts they give you, most of the ones that you unlock end up being a little more strenuous. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're doing planks now, huh? And it's like, oh, that's a core workout that I can really add to the leg and arm workouts that I was already doing. It's pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
The gains design system is intense. So how is it now a week in?
So I've only been doing it like a day and then I skip a day just because I want to ease myself into it. I'm very, very out of shape, so I don't want to kill myself with it, but I'm getting to the point where I think I'm going to be comfortable doing it every day. It does feel really good. It doesn't take up that much time, and it is a good...
you can fit it in like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, and less. It is a good workout, too. Like, it is... Like, I feel legit worked out by doing it, Like, I was starting to use the treadmill just for some cardio, but with this, I feel a lot more just overall worked out, and I think that helps out a lot more, where it's just not... I'm not just focusing on one thing. This is a group of things, and then they very smartly like pull you towards different like muscle groups once they introduce the like weaknesses, because you have to beat Drago like twice to get the power back that you can like do extra damage to enemies by hitting them with certain attacks. And that's just like a smart way of being like, yeah, today we're going to give you a bunch of like red enemies, so you're going to be focusing on like your arms. And then the next day it's just like, okay, here's a bunch of blue enemies, so you can do like a lot of like leg stuff, and then I think like yellow is, you know, like more like your core, and then green is like yoga sort of stuff. So they give you different enemies so you can focus on different things, but you know, you can also just be like, you know, I just want to keep doing red stuff today because, you know, I haven't worked on my arms lately. Like, it's very smart, and they don't bring any of it up at all. It's just like, we're just gonna have this be an RPG. You don't think about it like as a workout, you know? Like, it is just, you are playing this game using your body, and it's just really well made. So, hey.
Yeah, they
that ring
very
fits
much
really
like
good.
trick you into doing core workouts that are very good for where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
The little bait and switch.
Right.
I'm glad you're having such a good time with it.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of like very special moments, I would say, that are kind of sprinkled out throughout the thing. Once you start making shakes, once you start making like the consumable items in the game that make things work better, make the RPG buttons go higher. Those are just really fun to make. And what's some of the other little tiny like bits? There's a section of the game where they're just like, all right, I know that the last couple of levels have been really challenging and hard. Here's a mini game world that's just like, oh, thanks. This is easy and fun, and I needed this break. Thank you. And also your prize for all these mini games is the best equipment in the game so far, plus a 5% XP bonus. And it's like, oh, I like when the numbers go up. Thank you.
Yeah.
So just a lot of little charming things. And other than the ring con itself, I don't think your treadmill ever talked to you while you were doing your workouts, right?
No, and maybe I'm a little happy about that in some ways. You know, like, I think the ring is fun most of the time, but I did almost put the game down forever when he told me that my sweat was, like, beautiful and glistening, and that made me viscerally upset.
Yep.
So, you know, it's a give or take. It's a give or take sort of thing.
There's one other call out that happens a little later in the game where he says, like, it's something like, now put me up to your abdomen. He says, this is going to be weird. Squeeze me with your abs. And it's like, hey, don't embody yourself in my workout, please.
Don't. You are a tool. You are not. Please. Don't. You made it weird. Okay.
Why did you make this weird?
God.
He's a weird little pervert man inside
he is
of
a
your
weird
ring
little
con.
perv. But you know what? If I get a little healthier because of his perv ass, then I'll take it. I'm not going to be too beat up about it.
It happens randomly, and it's funny every time.
It's pretty funny.
Like, right in the middle of your workout, you just get the most cursed thing said to you, and you're like, ah!
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Just like, buddy.
Big vibe check energy.
Yeah. And then I also played a little bit of Puyo Tetris 2. Puyo Tetris 2. That came out. I don't think a lot of people realize that came out.
I did not realize that came out. I played a ton of Puyo Tetris 1. There's a second one that's out now?
There is a second one. Now, I'll be honest, it's not like a huge addition. You know, like, they didn't make like... I mean, you know, you can't really add that much to Puyo Puyo and Tetris. It's not something that you can reinvent.
Yeah,
it's all there.
Why would they make a second one and not just, like, add DLC to the first one or something?
So the big thing that they added, which I think will make a lot of people happy, you know Tetris Battle Gaiden?
Oh.
They got that in this. They have a battle mode in Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. So
that just sounds fun.
You can use special abilities, and you can use them for both Puyo and Tetris. So... And different characters will have different skills for, like, Puyo and Tetris. You know, like, I think you unlock more as you go, but so far it's just like, yeah, you know, like, Arl will have a Puyo ability that will like do stuff when you're playing Puyo, but characters like T and S, who are from the Tetris side of the story, they all have Tetris abilities, and then there's some characters that just have general abilities. Like I think Carbuncle might have just an ability that just makes your defense higher in general or something like that. And so it's, you know, it as you clear lines or as you do chains, you do damage to your opponent. So
that's super neat.
Yeah, they added the battle mechanic, so that I think was a big enough step. And then they also did a new story mode, which it's kind of weird because they basically reset everything. I didn't finish the story mode in Puyo Tetris 1, but the way that they present it in 2 is like everyone kind of lost their memories, so everyone's like meeting each other again.
That's weird, because that happened like 2 or 3 other times in the first Puyo Tetris.
Yeah.
They're going back to that old well.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I think there's a bunch more characters that they've added, and I think they're also going to do like free DLC to add more characters, which, you know, normally wouldn't be that big of a deal, but those characters are going to have more skills for battle mode, so that is actually something to look forward to, instead of just it being like, okay, yeah, like, you know, like, if you're not, like, a huge Puyo fan, it won't really mean anything to you, because you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't know who the fuck Doppelganger Arl is, or, you know, like, any of those other weirdo characters, but, I mean, you know, if you are a big Puyo fan, that is cool, but, you know, nowadays it's like, okay, but what does this character do in battle mode? So I could have more stuff to use in battle mode. So it's neat. It is very cool. It is. I feel like it's worth checking out. It's out on like pretty much everything. I think. Like even new consoles. It's even like there's even like a PS5, like actual PS5 version of the game. So yeah, if you like Puyo Puyo and Tetris, they made another one of those, and I think it's worth a damn, because just for battle mode, you know, like I'm still kind of messing around with the story mode. I might actually try to finish it. But you know, I'm not great at either of those games. Like, I like Puyo Puyo and I like Tetris, but I'm not good at Puyo Puyo or Tetris. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, just stick to the line pieces. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Tetris for John. Boom.
What about you, Solon? What have you been playing?
Oh, man, I really have just been playing Final Fantasy XIV. I haven't been around on the podcast for a couple weeks, and it's mostly because of that. I fell so deep into that hole over the last 3 months that tonight we're doing like new raids on the highest level difficulties, and I'm really excited for that, but it's also just really cool, really affirming to feel like, yeah, I am reaching towards highest echelons of meta in this MMO that I've been putting a lot of time into. The new patch came out about, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was on the podcast last week. And that was just fun to be a part of, the like festivities, being a part of the whole, like, oh, we all get to play through the new story that just came out at the same time, and just having Skull, who's been incredible to be able to work with and play with on these games, right there along with me, is just like, wow, we're cool kids now. We're the big adult, like, yeah, we're rolling into these big epic fights together side by side. It's very cool. It's been an affirming feeling, but it's also been taking up pretty much all of my spare time. I'm like looking back on like, what have I been playing this week? It's like, I've been playing a couple other games here and there, but man, it just, my brain, my mind has just kept coming back to like, oh, what am I doing next on FF14? But yeah, no, the only other game that I've been playing, I've been played a little bit of Silver Case, because I've been setting up for what is basically going to be us going into the Sudaverse. This weekend, I'm going to spend the entire weekend playing No More Heroes. I'm going to play No More Heroes 1 and 2 front to back. That's going to be our next, our December Until We Beat special is Mr. Travis Touchdown. And
good.
He's going to he's gonna be the virgin killer we want him to be. Well, actually, I can't say that. That's Twitch banned me from saying the virgin word to protect the virgin community.
That's right. You're not allowed.
I don't think that is ever going to stop me, because Twitch has a little thing where they'll say they're doing one thing and then just not enforce it in any way whatsoever. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm going to be setting up for Pseudoverse stuff. We've already played Killer 7. We've already played through Travis Strikes Again. And so we're going to come together with the rest of the No More Heroes series, and then we're going to take a step back and play through the Silver Case. And it's been a weird start to that game, though. It's just got a weird beginning, and I think once I get through that, a lot of the characters I think are really cool. There's some really interesting characters, and it puts together how you go from making something like a visual novel to making Killer 7 to making No More Heroes, a very action heavy hack and slash type of game. And so, yeah, it's very cool seeing it, but also it does mean that we're going to be playing a very old visual novel style mystery game, and that's what the Silver Case is. And so it's interesting seeing that from the before that crew, Grasshopper, was like really tight on their visual novel mechanics and storytelling mechanics, where they really just want to tell you how edgy and cool their big badass detective man is, who smokes a cigarette. But he's also got like a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm.
So we're figuring that out. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to lately, just on the game side of things. That's why I've been itching so hard to get to like something new, is because I'm like, man, my head's been in old Castlevania games. It's been in Final Fantasy XIV, which is just this overwhelmingly massive, large thing. I need to just get something where I can sink my teeth into something new. Something that feels fresh.
Well, No More Heroes is good.
It's good.
I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
That's going to be one of these things where I'm not just going back to an old game, but it's something that I actually have played before, something I know. Mm-hmm. And it's very rare, because I usually want to spend my time being like, finding new things about new games that I've never played before, like the Breath of Fire series, which is, God, Breath of Fire 4 is gorgeous. I'm used to like playing PS1 RPGs that blow my mind at this point. Like Xenogears is not necessarily the most pretty game, but like has some beautiful things that happen in it. Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9 all have these like gorgeous spectacles that happen inside of it. And then this Capcom game, Breath of Fire 4, oh my God. It just it opens up with a bunch of like anime set pieces and then does not let you go for a second. It's like, hey, the world is a disaster. It's a desert out there. And you're just this like crew of people who are like this found family of a lost princess and a dragon boy with no past and a robot who is a sociopath who I think she wants to kill us, but I'm not sure. She just she's got her own way of thinking. And she's a girl robot, which is very cool.
Girl robots are cool.
But yeah, no, it's been like 5 or 6 hours of that game. It hasn't let us go for a second. It's like, it doesn't want you, like, it just keeps giving us plot, like, directly in our face as loud as possible about the next horrible thing that's about to happen to us and how we have to get past it right now. And then it, like, constantly shifts the entire perspective, so you're playing as the big final boss over and over. It goes places. That game is incredible. I've only played like the very beginning of it. I feel like we've scratched the surface, and they've already been like, hey, here's a giant dragon who does 4 digits worth of damage with their basic attack for fun. That one I can get. I've been getting obsessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, besides all those games, like getting to something where I can play something that I've already played before. I know how No More Heroes works. I know how No More Hero 2's works. It's going to be relaxing, comfortable.
It is good. And you know what? As someone who played No More Heroes 1 recently because of the fucking re-release, it holds up.
Yeah?
Yeah, it holds up.
Yeah, that re-release, that's why we're doing all this. Is just like, hey, I got to play this on Switch instead of having to get the Wii out.
And then they're going to put out No More Heroes 3.
Yep.
I don't know when that'll be, but it's not soon enough. It'll never be soon enough until it's actually here.
It's soon. It'll happen. It just knowing that it'll happen, it gives my heart so much.
It does.
Like I feel so much more calm in my life. Before,
but also,
a year ago when we were like, it's never happening.
Yeah, but I hope they do take all the time they need. Because we don't want it to end up like a certain game that is the big news of the week. Ding 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 ding. That's the theme song of the news of the week, the big news of the week. Cyberpunk came out, and now it's kind of not out.
They uncame it out, huh? Yeah.
They kind of unreleased the game. So Cyberpunk, you could play it on your PlayStation consoles, your Xbox consoles, your personal computer, your Stadia even. Which, the funniest part of this is it straight up sounds like Stadia might still be the best place to play Cyberpunk, which is like the funniest part of this in general. I can't get over that. That game is busted as hell, especially on the older consoles, on the PS4, like base PS4 especially. I haven't played the game. Rose is still playing it. She said that she hasn't run into anything too crazy. There were like
I've seen
some
a couple
glitches.
of videos that she's posted with some very bizarre actions happening, but nothing that isn't like a lot of other AAA open world style games like this.
Yeah, she got put on highlight reel this week. That's pretty crazy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, good for her. But some people have been reporting like full-on game crashes, the game soft or hard locking. I've even heard little rumors of people's PS4s just completely bricking because of this game. So, CD Projekt has announced that they are going to be accepting any and all refunds of the game. But they didn't really talk to anybody about this. They just said it was going to happen. And so Sony, because Microsoft is just has a general refund policy from what it seems. It's just like, yeah, if you can refund you and take the game off your profile, whatever. But I guess Sony has I don't know. Excuse me. Sony seems to just be having a no questions asked policy of a refund, but they have actually taken the game off of the store completely. So you can't buy Cyberpunk. Yeah, you can't buy Cyberpunk on their online PlayStation Store anymore.
Wow.
Which I guess ties into their policy because normally Sony doesn't do refunds for digital things. They normally are just like, yeah, you paid for it, you're getting it. But now they're just like, okay, if we're gonna refund you, if the game is that broken, which it sounds like it is, then they can't sell it anymore. Some other places, I think, GameStop is refusing refunds, but Best Buy is allowing it until December 21st. They will continue to... CD Projekt said that they're going to keep updating the game. There's going to be some kind of update this coming week. They're just stopping digital sales on PSN. It will still work if you play it on your PS4. I mean, as well as it can be. And I guess they'll relist it once it's fixed or whatever. It sounds like there's like Bloomberg is reporting that the workers are are yelling about this. Obviously, that's probably in the right because hey, they're probably giving them like a shit ton of overtime, and all these deadlines are unrealistic. Like having to cram a bunch of fixes in like a week and a half or something. It sounds like it's a lot of crunch after a lot of crunch after a lot of crunch, like non-stop over and over to try to get this game to work when it seems like it's very much not done. Like just, we watched that, again, to name drop, I guess, we watched that highlight reel and that whole episode was just Cyberpunk. It was, they filmed an entire 20-minute episode of clips of bugs and glitches in Cyberpunk. And that was all just funny glitches. You're not even experiencing the stuff where it's just completely broken and it's harming the gameplay and even potentially harming people. They had to get told, hey, these lights can give someone a seizure. It really sounds like this game probably could have taken another year in the oven, or maybe even a year and a half if we really don't want people to crunch. Of course we don't, but
it's a complicated thing too, because they've got their deadlines, but there are definitely parts of this that seem like they needed to, retool the entire system.
Yeah.
I don't know how you bounce back from this. I just don't know how long it could possibly take to remake Cyberpunk, but it almost sounds like you're going to have to. And I've heard people make the joke before. It sounds like you're going to need to build it from the ground up in a lot of ways. Now that you know what now that Cyberpunk isn't this quasi ephemeral, perfect god or game, they can actually, build up what Cyberpunk could be, what this game should be. Just a normal kind of futuristic style open world game, the Outer Worlds and the other open world games that are like it, and you'd probably end up with something really nice, because from what I've heard, the story is actually pretty endearing and fun and has a lot of hopeful things to say about humanity. But we can't even get that far. We can't get that far in the game, literally, but we can't also get that far yet as people, because this game got so hyper pushed into us. It got so built up as this huge god game that we haven't gotten to talk about hey, is the game, does the game teach us anything? Is it fun? Is it what parts are fun? Yeah, I've heard the joke before, but it needs a Final Fantasy XIV, a Realm Reborn style complete overhaul remake in a lot of ways if you want to root out some of these very core feeling bugs and errors and crashes that are coming out of this. And I don't think it's something, and that's why you're seeing such a stark reaction with PlayStation taking off the market, is because they probably also see it as wow, you can't patch that one out, you're gonna have to take it back. I am taking my meal back to the chef. They need to remake it. I hate saying this. I don't want to take my meal that I am very excited and hungry to enjoy back to the chef, especially when it was so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sony takes absolutely no joy in being y'all gotta fix this. This isn't done. This meat's raw.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was something that they could patch out, they wouldn't be giving this kind of response.
Yeah.
And so this very much signals hey, you can't just fix this with a simple patch. You're going to have to really look back at what you're doing. And that's also probably why CD is calling for the physicals recall, because I think that's the only way they know they're going to be able to fix it also, which is it's a new thing. It's not something that I think has any kind of comparison. I can't think of any other games that have been in this kind of situation of level of broken.
At least not this high profile.
And yeah, exactly. Combined with how high profile it is, and
because like you think of like a Bethesda game. Bethesda games are busted and they take a while to fix. But
yep,
I don't even think like your Fallout 4s and your Fallout 76 and all that. Like I don't even think they were this bad. Maybe, but like. Or even hell, you think of other CD Projekt games, like they had to patch The Witcher a bunch of times to make that game as smooth as it is now, but
yeah, yep,
it wasn't anywhere near this.
Yep, and it all gets compounded on with how this came out at the exact same time as a new console generation comes out, and this isn't on that console generation, and so there's just all of these things that happened at the wrong times, and the house of cards that was precariously built and often lied about by the execs at the top so that they could try to cash in on this as fast as possible and try to get away with the heist of the year. And it's just not working out for them. I can't say I'm not cheering for them, but I'm also not surprised. I'm not I don't know. It gives me a very malaise feeling looking at everything that is going on, because they're also not every time something horrible comes up, it's not like they're not doing nothing about it. When the epilepsy warning stuff came out, they put a quick patch thing on it that said, "Hey, watch out, this thing is happening." And that's not the best response, but it's not nothing. They're not doing nothing to try to fix these things, and they're doing what I would consider way above and beyond what I would expect a large company like CD Projekt to do for these kinds of things. They're having full-on recalls of their hit Prime game during the holidays.
Yeah,
and that's not an easy call to make. The very easy call they could have made that I would have expected was to be let's wait this out a couple weeks and see if things die down, and then maybe think about doing recalls, like Nintendo does with their Joy-Cons when they have issues. And so, I don't know. It's weird. It's also the only thing that happened this week. This is the biggest news. This has just overwhelmed the entire news cycle, and pretty much every other games company and stuff, they're all going on winter break now, and so everyone's put out their little patches and their winter holiday updates and celebrating the solstice and putting your, Among Us is now on the Switch for...
tell us about the indies. Tell us about the indies.
Yeah, the indies also all came out. There was a bunch of Nintendo-styled indie games that came out on the Switch that were just really nice and soft. Very, very opposite of the Cyberpunk news that puts you in that malaise head. Here, let me bring us out of the malaise zone. Because on the 15th, there was another Nintendo little tiny direct, and they put out a little showcase that showed a couple of different games that are they just announced. I think almost all of them were hey, this is out now. A couple of them are going to be out at the beginning of next year. So Spelunky 1 and 2 was the big high profile, hey, that I didn't realize that wasn't already on the Switch. I'm glad it is now, because that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I legit thought that Spelunky 1 was already out on Switch.
There's a hand-drawn beat-em-up called Tunch that's coming out that looks gorgeous. There's Cyber Shadow, which is it's very Ninja Gaiden-esque looking. Alba, a wildlife adventure, is a how do I describe this? It's like a nature simulator type of game where you're just having an adventure outside, and it's very cute. You get to pet all of the animals, pretty much all of them. There's a list of things. Super Meat Boy Forever is going to be out on it, which is inevitable. It's actually coming out at the end of this week, I think. Right
People have been
before
waiting
Christmas.
for that for a long time.
Almost for Super Meat Boy Forever time. There's also 2 cat games that are coming out. one that's literally Power Stone, but you're cats. And
I'm
it's
gonna be a
called
little mean. I thought both of those games looked kind of bad.
Well, one of them's called Fist of Fluffs, and it's basically like, Power Stone type mechanics, but it's cats. And the other one was Calico, which is actually a game made by some of the folks up here in my neck of the woods. And I can see your immediate reaction being like, hey, I don't like how this looks, but my boy John Smith did all the music on it, and my God, that music is very good.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about the music, so...
No, I know. But it's both of those are debut studio stuff, and I have gotten my hands on Calico, and it's very nice. It's just it is nice vibes, and it's almost all just whimsical, silly vibes. So it's probably not going to be your thing, because it's not the kind of game that's like driven by, very direct, aggressive goals and stuff. Sure. It's just like, hey, you want to make some money in your cat cafe today? No? That's fine. So, yeah. It's good vibes coming to the Switch. Oh, and of course, not to remiss, may I not forget that Among Us is on the Switch now, which is, if it weren't for Cyberpunk, would probably be the biggest news of the week. Because we can't understate that right before Christmas, Among Us is going to just destroy the entire, everybody. Like, why would you not get some kid like a Switch gift card, a Nintendo gift card so they can go pick up Among Us for $5?
Yeah, it's $5. You can play it on everything now, pretty much. Like I think it's on PC Game Pass now, and then they're gonna put it on Xbox like sometime next year. So yeah, Among Us is just gonna be everywhere in like a month or so. And I think I said it during the Game Awards, but they won those awards. They deserve that, and they deserve to be on everything because it's a good game, and I hope that they they hope they get recognized for that.
I think it's also gonna be on Epic too.
Yeah,
just announced that like today.
Yeah, fuck it. Put it on everything. Let's just go. Yeah, come on.
Oh, hey, they also put that... I just saw this at the very bottom of everything. They put Finding Paradise, the To the Moon sequel, To the Moon 2.
That's right. Yeah, they did that as well.
There. They snuck that in there. Good for them. Good for that crew.
Yeah.
Just a gorgeous game. I loved that game so much. Yeah, that's pretty much everything for the... That's literally everything that Nintendo announced this week. Whew. We got there.
All right. Well then, I guess it's time for us to ask questions, or have questions asked to us.
Oh, hell yeah! This is the whole reason I'm here. I love getting questions.
All right. If you want to send in questions, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these folks right here. So, what I'm just gonna say really quick, the Sentai question is for Chuchi Godfrey, so we're not answering that one, okay? Okay.
Blue.
Alright, well, there you go. Anonymous asks, are we ever going to move past the open world action RPG being the go-to genre for AAA games? No, they're easy to make. Well, no. Easy to conceptualize, I guess.
They're easy to sell to your board of directors.
Yeah, that's more what I mean. It's an easy concept. It takes a long time and lots of man-hour and lots of extreme, difficulty to produce it.
Unbelievable, because why shouldn't the AAA game sphere be entirely comprised about shoot-em-ups? How could you not be like, hey, board of directors, this is what the gamers want, and then you just show them Toho, and all the board of directors are just like, oh my god, the lights, the colors, the sounds, the score is so big. And, their brains explode. And then you get to spend, the next 2 to 3 years making a nice shoot 'em up. And you don't have to crunch. And you get to enjoy your time because you're making a fun ass game.
And Zun is there and he's drinking a bunch of beer.
And then you get to put Toho characters in it.
Yeah.
Because who fucking cares?
Yeah. When's Reimu going to be in Call of Duty?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Assassin's Creed Reimu.
Assassin's Creed Jinsokyo.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
Life could be so much easier. Open world action RPG AAA game sphere. Can't you see?
You just play as Sakuya, and it's actually a side-scrolling Metroidvania, and it's only like a few hours long, and it's called Touhou Luna Nights.
Ship it, John. Oh, wait. That's already been shipped.
That's already been shipped. You know, they could always make Touhou Luna Nights 2. It's the same game, except a little different, and it's more. Because then I would buy it. Actually, they just need to finish that Record of Lodoss War game. Because I really want to play that.
That sounds really exciting.
It's so good. Solon, it's like Symphony of the Night, but I finished that first chapter and then I stopped because I was like, I just want to play this when it's done.
You were overwhelmed by how much fun
like,
you were having. You had to stop.
Listen.
Yeah.
I think it feels better than Symphony of the Night. Like, I think game... Nobody's going to admit that game is... That Team Ladybug makes better Metroidvanias than fucking Iga does, but I legitimately think they do. I think Team Ladybug makes the best Metroidvanias in the business, bar none. I think when that Record of Lodoss War game is out and shipped... Nobody will admit it, but I will say, yeah, it's better than Symphony of the Night. I will say that. Well, but I need to wait for it to be completely out. I need to play it and finish it before I can actually say that. But I am ready to say that. I will not mince words. I will be ready. I will be ready to say that.
Most other Igavanias are also better mechanically in a lot of ways than Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night's a very special game. It's gorgeous. I'm not taking anything from it because now that I've played it for the first time, like I played it all the way through like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I know now that that is one of those special games, kind of like Final Fantasy VII, where it's got this like undeniable kind of quality to it, especially with how the story flows into how you navigate the game. It makes its thesis statement and it gets you solid on it. But
it's good.
There's so much room for improvement, and Team Ladybug is nailing that.
And they're just doing it with the weirdest possible licenses.
With the
we'll make a Touhou game. Yeah, we'll make a really good SMT prequel game that you just play as Jack Frost and Pyro Jack. And it's good as shit. Yeah, we'll make a Record of Lodoss War game in 2020 and 2021. Yeah, we'll do that. And it's going to be killer. No filler.
Gonna get the KFC people to contract Team Ladybug for the next Kentucky Fried Chicken game.
I'll play fucking Colonel Sanders Metroidvania if it's Team Ladybug, because guess what? It'll kick ass. It'll be legit great.
I know.
Like, next year, like, if No More Heroes 3 and the Record of Lodoss War game come out next year, I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna have to fucking think about it, alright? That's all I'm gonna say, right? For Game of the Year, I'm gonna have to fucking think about it.
So you haven't had to think... You didn't have to think last year about it, because your Game of the Year was...
It was just...
Touhou Luna Nights. Easy.
Well, because Travis Strikes Again was fine. It was good. But it wasn't, it was... But No More Heroes 3, I'm gonna have to think about it.
Uh-huh. But this year, you also don't have to think about it. You hated every game that came out this year. That's fine.
I have to think about it because I have no fucking idea.
Oh, yeah. That's actually, you have to think about it the other way. You hated every game that came out this year. It's going to be really hard to figure out your game of the year 2020.
I didn't hate it. I'm just tired.
You're just tired. No, I know.
All right. Shoeless asks, what's next for crystals in gaming?
Oh, man.
What about the crystals?
Shoeless. You just got me thinking about how disappointed I am in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles coming out this year, and it just hurt me so bad. We got to get somewhere better. Crystals need to go to a better place in the future. 2021, I need 4 crystals, and I need them to embody the spirits of heroes, and I need it to not suck ass. And
they do
yeah.
They got that Bravely Default 2 coming out.
That's true. Bravely Default 2 might be what's next for crystals in gaming. Any goth crystals in gaming? Because I feel like that's where we're missing out on the gothic crystals.
Goth crystals.
Because, like, I was playing all the, Castlevania's full of very gothic crystals and crystalline designs. And I'm like, where is this at in games right now? We got to get more of that going on in games.
I can't think of, like, what goth crystals would even look like.
They're just spiky and dark.
Okay. I could see. I don't know. Maybe Bravely Default 2 will be about light crystals versus goth crystals, and you have to defeat the goth crystals. I can see that.
Oh yeah, I like where that's going.
Crash Bandicoot 5, maybe they'll make new crystals that are like your friends. Like how they made new masks, they'll be like, alright, well here's new crystals, and you can talk to them and hang out with them, and they're your buddies.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 5, it's about crystals this time.
It's about crystals, yeah. All that glitters is not gold, ... it's crystals, !
Ooh, fancy.
Alright, so I'll be honest, this next question, I wasn't going to answer, but the fact that it ends with something so just sure of itself is why I need to bring this up. So Anonymous says, in Jim Carrey's The Grinch, does he have a cloaca or what? Because he doesn't wear pants, but obviously has sex. What do you mean he obviously has sex? What are you talking about?
No, not the Grinch himself. No, Jim Carrey's The Grinch obviously has sex, is what this Anonymous is asking here.
They're saying it like he has...
Yeah.
What in that film makes it obvious that Jim Carrey's version of The Grinch knows someone else carnally? Where is the text in that movie?
Oh,
that states
no,
this?
It's all subtext. See, if you read it straight up, like if you read the screenplay, it's not going to show up there. But in Jim Carrey's performance and just the viscerality of how he moves through Whoville, there's just the like seeping energy of a sex god.
No. There's no energy in that film other than Jim Carrey needed a fucking paycheck.
The big feet.
There's also the energy. There's also the energy that Jim Carrey needed to get fucking talked through that film by like a CIA operative, because putting on the makeup was like torture to him. He needed someone who like had torture bestowed upon them talk him through it, because he almost mentally snapped because of that movie.
Oh, really? Maybe that's where that energy comes from. Maybe it's some misplaced sexual energy. That would explain a lot.
I don't think the Grinch doesn't reproduce. He just existed. There's one. He appeared, and then the Who's were cruel to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't think he reproduces the thing here. There's a difference between the energy that he bestows on the, Whoville and the film itself, but I don't think he reproduces in any way.
I think
that's why he doesn't wear pants. He doesn't have genitals.
I think he has a butt. I think he poops.
Yeah.
But I don't think he fucks.
No. Well, no. I don't know if... Just because he doesn't have genitals, I don't know if that means that he doesn't fuck, but like...
I don't think he fucks. I don't think he fucks, period. I don't think he has no desire to fuck. He's a fucking Grinch.
The inherent problem, and where most of the movie comes from, is that even if he did fuck, nobody else in that film fucks. There's nobody in the entire movie universe that fucks in that. No. So, if there's anything to be a Grinch about, it's that you're the only sexual being in the entire universe, and there's no one, not a single soul in the entire snowflake that can, reciprocate that feeling with you.
Anonymous, for the new year, I want you to have a New Year's resolution to be better. All right.
Hi, John here. I'm writing your New Year's resolution for you. I'm halfway done. If you'd like to see it, I'll take comments, but I'm not going to change a lot.
No. Listen, they said that his heart was an empty hole, not that he had an empty hole, all right? All right, Anonymous asks, what's the best gift to give the gamer in my life?
One of those, like, hand clamps so that you can strengthen your hands?
That's actually not a bad idea. I was just gonna say, just get some, like, figure out what console they have and get them points for that console, you know? PSN money, or Xbox money, or Switch money, or Steam money. I don't know if they have Epic Game Store money, but if they do, get them Epic Game Store money, maybe.
I don't know if they have that yet, or if that's the thing you can get someone.
If they have an MMO that they like, you can get them, like, days for that. You know, get them, like, a sub for Final Fantasy or WoW or whatever. You could do that.
Skull made the call that was like, hey, people asking, you should just get me some Final Fantasy time cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's a really good idea.
Because, like, honestly, you never really think about it until you're running out. You know, like, when you're getting, like, PlayStation Plus or whatever kind of, like, you know, deals... You don't think about it until it's about to run out, or it runs out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's just a nice little thing. Like, even if it's like a month or something, just be like, yeah, you know what, here's another month of PlayStation Plus. Here's another month of Final Fantasy. Here's another month of Xbox Live. Have fun. Just do that. It's good to think about. But if you know them well, and something, honestly, like, okay, so if you want something... This is the kind of thing where, like, it depends on how close you are to that person. Because I think the points cards are for people that, like, you're not really sure what they're into at the moment, you know, all that stuff. But, like, if you know what they're into, get them, like, something off of Etsy or something. Be like, you know what, I know that John really loves Pokemon. I can get him, like, a little Mewtwo thing off of Etsy, or, like, a little figure or something. Or, hell, you know, kill two birds with one stone here. Both get your friend a gift and support someone during the holidays. Buy a commission. Get someone to do cool art of a character that they like, and give that to them as a gift, because that's always a really cool gift. And then you're supporting an artist during the holidays.
The hottest 2020 gamer gift right now is commissioning your friend their first and very own VTuber persona. Just send them the 3D model data, just send them the file, put a little ribbon on it, and they're going to be so happy. They're going to ride into 2021 with a new VTuber persona, and you're going to have to live with that then. After that,
I mean, that's literally what happened to Rose. So
yep, she got VTuber-pilled.
She got V-pilled. It was I wouldn't say it was forced upon her, but it was kind of forced upon her that she became a VTuber. It was just like, well, I have this model now. I guess I'll do it. And, you know, like, she has fun with it. I'm not saying that she doesn't like it, but, you know.
Yeah, go follow twitch.tv/CurryDraco for all your Curry and Dragon updates.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
She's out there. She's having fun. Yeah. But, I think just, like, you know, think a little outside of the box, and also think about ways that will help others as well, you know?
Every gamer always needs an HDMI cable and a HDMI to HDMI extender.
That's not true. I don't need any more HDMI cables. I feel like if someone bought me an HDMI cable right now, I would start screaming at them.
Please help me.
Do you need more, Solon?
I just want to plug in all of my TVs into all of my other TVs, so that I can play games on all of my TVs, no matter where I'm standing in the garage.
I mean, I could probably, if I have some extra HDMI cables.
No, please do not send me your HDMI cables,
Okay.
John.
This is going to be some, like, Gift of the Magi shit, where I'm going to send you the HDMI cables, and then you're going to send me, like, another TV, like, another screen, and then I won't have enough.
Take this TV from me.
Yeah, I won't have enough HDMI cables to plug in all the stuff to all the TVs, and then you won't have enough TVs to use all the HDMI cables. Yeah. One last question from Harlequin Wheels. And Wheels, you are the last question for 2020. And how fitting is that for this question? What's your wildest gaming prediction for 2021 that you think might have a chance to come true? My wildest gaming prediction is I predict that they're going to try to do E3 next year and it's going to completely bungle. I think they're going to get too far ahead of themselves. I don't think the vaccine's going to be as widespread as they think it's going to be. And they're going to try to host E3, and nobody's going to show up, and that'll probably be the last E3. That's my prediction.
Here's my wildest gaming prediction. COVID vaccines hit. General strike shortly afterwards.
Okay.
Games unions throughout all industries in 2021.
You think that has a shot?
Order. I think that has a shot. We've got a lot of things to sort out, basically, after all of this ends. And I'm really hoping that activates enough people into into very direct action to basically help preserve a lot of the gains that we've made over the last year of having to actually contend directly with how late capitalism has treated us as people. And I think that that's all going to come to head socially in these group settings that we've been building for the last 6 to 10 months. Where once we can actually meet in person, it's going to change a lot of those dynamics and how we can come together as people. And so I think a lot more people are going to come together with the spirit of communalism in a way that basically asks questions about how we are treated by superior class type struggles. So, landlords and bosses and police and all those things. And so my wildest gaming prediction is hoping that all of this comes out and washes out in a way where we get to finally unionize.
That would be good.
There's a major announcement today was that the Orange County sector of the Game Workers Union has formed. And so that'll be another leg of the structures that are going to uphold some of that. And so I think with more structures like that, it doesn't have to be specifically with Game Workers United or anything. It can be any kind of union organizations that are with the games industry or with other entertainment industries. And I've seen on the wrestling side, there's been a lot of unionization talk with actors guilds and trying to keep, all performers of different kinds safe. And so, yeah, no, I'm hoping that's my wildest gaming prediction. And that's the nice, optimistic, positive one. My other wildest one is, hey, you remember how Fallout 76 happened last year?
Right.
You remember how Cyberpunk 77 happened this year?
Yes.
Wait till you see what happens in 78. It's going to get worse.
I just realized that those were sequential numbers. That's scary. And I'm scared.
2021, it's coming.
I'm so scared right now.
You thought one pandemic was enough? 78.
I'm so scared right now. I actually lied. There is one last question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for stealing your thunder, Wheels. But yeah, we do have one more question. This is from Cello Buster.
Wheels has been shot down. Who's our last question of 2020?
This is from Cello Buster, who asks, what would the Choochers Dual Monsters forms be if they were trapped in the Legendary Heroes VR world like that one arc in Yu-Gi-Oh? Okay, so I guess this is just for me. I have to... Alright. I have to look at everybody. Let's see. Alright. So it's simple. I'd be Jinzo, of course, because I'm already Jinzo in VR chat. So I would just be Jinzo again.
This is such a specific question.
I mean, it's true though. Solon, do you have a request? Because you're here, you can actually speak your mind. So is there a dual monster, a Yu-Gi-Oh monster that you would want to be?
Like fully embody as myself, or like in VR chat?
If you were brought into the VR realm, not
like that one season of Yu-Gi-Oh where they all went to Kaiba's VR machine.
Yes. Which dual monster would you turn into?
Okay, there is no, I don't remember what their name is. It was, you were unwrapping a bunch of cards when you were, you were
what did it look
slapping
like?
some packs. And God, there was this sick as heck and blue junction card that you unwrapped, and it was like, whoa, that card's incredible.
So it was a Link monster?
It was a Link monster that you popped off really hard for. And when I downloaded the actual picture to see what it looked like up close, I was like, wow, this is like the sickest Yu-Gi-Oh card I've ever seen.
Do you remember anything about what the monster looked like?
No, I don't. I just remember having this very good reaction.
Was it Borreload Dragon? Boral Sword Dragon?
Oh, yep. I think that was the one it was.
Boral Sword? You'd want to be Boral Sword? That's a little cheap, Solon. That's very overpowered.
Yeah.
We'd have to be journeying to find you then, because I feel like once you find Boral Sword Dragon, that's it. You win. Boral Sword Dragon is very powerful.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like a Power Rangers Megazord.
Kinda. I mean, there's actually an archetype of cards that are just the Power Rangers, and they, form into Megazords.
Of course there is.
Yeah, those are the Super Quantals. Let's see here.
I can't think of any other Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I could only think of that one, just because I remember the reaction I had. It was just like, wow, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh cards can look like? Hell yeah.
Alright, we're going into the VR world to activate the Boral Sword Dragon to save the world.
Find me.
Let's see here. Okay, so I could see Elvie. Elvie would be, I think she would be the Mannequin Cat. I forget what number it is. It's a number monster. But I could see Elvie as Mannequin Cat. I think that would be a pretty good one for her. Nile, I think he'd be one of those new Tri-Brigade monsters. They're just because I know that Nile really likes playing as snipers. And there are a bunch of sniper characters in the Tri-Brigade. They're Beast Warrior monsters that are like a troop of Beast Warriors. That'd be pretty cool.
I think he would actually be one of the edgy monsters that they made into a Toon monster card.
So
because he really likes Bug Snacks and
Toon Summon Skull.
Yeah, actually, that would be kind of... It's a good Summon Skull. But we already have a Summon Skull.
Just Summon Skull?
No, we already have... Someone's already that one.
Spencer would be Summon Skull, yeah. So Spencer would have to be Summon Skull.
That's just the easiest one.
Scott. Who would Scott be? Is there a wrestler monster?
Oh, he would be a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Just give him the shine.
Well, no, I'm trying to think of more humanoid monsters because we'd be in a group, we'd be a travel and adventure group kind of thing, yeah.
Oh,
so that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think if there's a wrestler monster.
Wouldn't he be Flame Dramon or Flame Wings Mon?
No, he wouldn't be Flame Wing Man. I don't think so.
Doesn't he contractually obliged to have to be Flame Wingman?
No. That's not his Twitter account.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a wrestler card. Oh, the Gokis. No, he could be Goki Great Ogre. Yeah, there you go. Tristan. Now Tristan plays the Cosmos. I can see Tristan as I want him to be Cosmos Strawman. Like the one that looks like C-3PO. There you go. Or like the Cosmo Cowardly Lion or whatever. Because I love the Cosmos so much. It is the most insane mashup that works so well. They are just Star Wars and Wizard of Oz crossed over as monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so fucking cool. Yeah, I should show you some of them later. Walker, I'm going to go a little old school on this one. There was that old school, I was gonna say that, like, old school, like, King of Rock fusion monster that, like, isn't really any good, but I'm trying to think, maybe he could just be, like... I could see Walker as, like, all the different forms of Ningirsu from the World Legacy cards, and so at the end, when we're, like, fighting the final boss or whatever, we're trying to rescue Borosor Dragon, he'd come out as Dingirsu, the big Xyz monster that's super powerful and stop everything. We'd be like, oh fuck, it's Dingirsu, oh shit, that would be tight as fuck. Christine, I'm trying to think, there's some kind of like RPG kind of thing. Or maybe like, I mean, she really likes Dynasty Warriors, and there is like that Dynasty Warriors, like archetype that came out recently, but then there might also, but that might also be problematic in a way. So I don't know if I'd want to go for that. What would be a good one for that? I'll just make what does she do in Final Fantasy? What's her fucking like role?
Well, I guess her role, as I've played it with her, is White Mage, but she usually mains a monk.
Maybe she could be like one of the Tenyi monks? Yeah, I could see that. Like the monk of the Tenyi. Or the shaman of the Tenyi, because I think the shaman's a girl. And then Rose is an easy answer, actually. There is a Sky Striker card just called Sky Striker Ace Rose, and it even like fits her kind of style. So yeah, Rose would absolutely be Sky Striker Ace Rose. And nice. There you go. Those are all my choices. I do kind of want to pick a more humanoid one for you though, Solon. I'm trying to think. I think you could be like one of the like Atlanteans or something like that.
I was thinking, can I just be that? Because now I understand what the prompt is and what you're explaining. Yeah. If I got to be like a humanoid kind of person, we're going to hang out together, right?
Yeah.
I can't just be a giant robot. That'd be weird. Can I be that dolphin that Jaden drew with the butt?
You want to be Neospatian Aqua Dolphin?
I want to be Neospatian Aqua Dolphin because they could have like, you know, some swooshy blue hair. It would look really cute. I like them a lot.
Okay, all right. You could be Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. That's a good pull. Yeah, that's a good pull.
I saw that episode with Jaden drawing that thing, and I was like, that's a great design, dude. That was like the most I'd ever believed in Jaden Yuki ever in that series.
You know what? The little Yu-Gi-Oh trivia for you. That card had been bad for like 15 years, and just recently it became really good. That is why I love Yu-Gi-Oh. There's some random card that everyone thought was shit for years. Things change, the way the game changes, and all of a sudden it's a great card.
Oh, that rules.
It's really so cool. Yeah. That's why I love Yu-Gi-Oh. So there you go. Me being a complete dweeb about Yu-Gi-Oh is how we end the year. So I guess I should say some things for the end of the year.
Yeah, what's the sentiment for the end of the year? What note do you want to go out on?
I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to even think about it because like I feel like for the past few years, I've been kind of ending the year, like doing our Game of the Year write-ups, like, boy, that year was hard, but let's hope next year's better. And it's kind of hard to feel like next year is going to be better, you know, at this point. It feels like it's been getting worse and worse, and, you know, it's hard. But, you know, there's always hope, and there's always a chance that folks will come together. And, you know, like Solon mentioned, that, you know, there are places to work together, and there are ways to look into these things, and you know, the things that will save us will not come from above, I guess. They will come from working together with others and coming together as a community. And I'm trying to think of the phrase, the fucking Mutual aid. Yes, mutual aid is what the world needs, not trying to push for some
Big
politician or boss.
fix.
Yeah. We just
Some
gotta help
vote
each other.
that'll save us.
Yeah, we just gotta help each other. Just think about your fellow person. So
That's
I guess
very
I'll just,
sweet, John.
Yeah. I will end the year by saying that shit is fucking horrible. It is very tiring. I'm tired. But God, we just got to be there for each other, and I hope that's what we all do in this coming year. Once we're all vaccinated, once we're all safer, we got to help each other out. And I hope that listening to this podcast through this year brought some sort of reprieve for the hard times. I know that it's really scary out there still. I know that it was hard, and it's hard for me to have, good things to say because there's a lot of people that are way smarter than me saying a lot of way smarter things. But, I just hope that things get better and that we all work together and that we come together against the things that are trying to keep us down. That's all I can really say. Next year won't be all bad because, No More Heroes 3 is probably coming out next year, so at least I got that, and I hope that everyone has something they're looking forward to next year, and I hope that everyone can improve on themselves a little bit too. I hope that everyone takes a step to do something. Like do a New Year's resolution, but also be kind to yourself about it. Be kinder to yourself as well. Be kind to those around you and be kind to yourself. There you go. I guess I'll just leave it with that. Solon, do you have anything you would want to say to the folks at home?
Hey, no, I don't. John, that was very sweet of you. I think that was beautiful. I couldn't say anything that would be even close to as good as that.
Well, I pulled that out of my ass, so
Your ass is pretty smart, John.
Thank you. I won't deflect that. I will just say thank you. There.
Good.
Pay my fucking therapist like hundreds of fucking dollars every month just to be like, I'm not gonna listen. I should listen. But that's it. Thank you everyone for listening. If you want to continue to support us, go to twitter.com/VGCC to follow us there. Follow us on Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We have a Facebook. We have our YouTube, youtube.com/channel/C whatever, Video Game Choo Choo. You can find it by searching us. It's fine. It's all there. You can find us. Of course, we have our Discord server, the GameZone.zone. You type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. You can hang out with me and other fine folks. We could just have a lovely time. We also have our Patreon, patreon.com/VGCC. Where you can go there, you can give us $3 a month, and you'll get access to... It's mostly just been Choochigotchery lately, I know. But, I mean, hey, $3 a month for 2 episodes of a podcast every month, that's not bad. And we're probably going to add more stuff as we go along, I just think we need a fucking break. I think that's what we need, is we need a break so we can come back and make some stuff.
Yep.
Yep. And, also, thank you again to Melt Channel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to support them, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com and magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. You can buy their songs anytime, but I'd recommend to do it during Bandcamp Fridays. I think the next one is in February, so the first February of the month is when I would say you should buy their music.
First February of the month?
The first Friday of February is when you should do it.
Sense.
Yes. They both started with F. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's when you should do it. Is the first Friday of February. But I mean, if you want to, you could just do it anytime, or you could stream it on Spotify. It's all on Spotify too. I know that probably doesn't give them that much money, but you know what? It's there too. Do both.
And on YouTube also.
Yeah, sure.
It'll just be 3 times as loud. How could that be worse?
Yeah, it might be worse for your ears, but, you know.
Then turn your computer down. Duh.
Right. Smarter than I am. Solon, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me at SolanFace on Twitter. You can find me twitch.tv/SolanFace. I'm probably live right now. That's just kind of how this thing has been going lately. And I've been streaming every single night, just to, you know, give people something to do late at night through all of these, the hard times. It's just been part of what the goal has been. My adventure through all of these weird video games that we've been playing, has been entirely guided by, the people who just want to hang out late at night and on the West Coast time zone type of period. It's been a very good adventure this year, and I wouldn't have had it any other way during during the pandemic as it is. It's been nice having a thing that I can go to every single night and just be like, hey, let's hang out.
Sure. And then you can also find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI. That's my Twitter. That's it. Just follow me on Twitter. That's it. All right. Well, that's it for the year, everybody. We have
That's a wrap.
This is the last podcast of the year, so we will be back next year with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.